Hey, I'm here. Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about double stacking, how to create rules, in this case, groups for double stacking, and how to do the bringbacks. And let's do the bringbacks first. I think the bringbacks are going to be the easiest thing because it's very similar to how we did the normal stacking. So I'm going to share my screen again. This is video 3 in the series, video 2, how to deal with stacking. And in this and I'll quickly go over again. Once again, I went to advanced options. I'm in Fantasy Cruncher. I go to advanced options, and I am using the auto group creator to create my groups. This is a recap of just regular stacking, wide receiver and tight end from the same team. Make sure I have it have the key players named there, and then I create QB stack, auto creates groups. Once again, every quarterback now has a group where I have to use at least one of the people in here. You can adjust who is in here by simply removing people. And the bringback stack, if you want to do a bringback, let's say Green Bay's playing Minnesota, I think week 1, and so for me to do the bringback, it's very easy. Instead of same team here, I select opposing team. So for every quarterback, select wide receiver, tight end from the opposing team, at least one, and that's it. Like that's all you have to do. Maybe I'll change the folder name here so that it's called QB opponent stack, or you can call it bringback or whatever. I'll actually call it bringback. How about that? QB bringback. And maybe you wanted to include running backs in here. I'll just, for the sake of simplicity, I actually may be doing this year, only including wide receiver and tight ends in the bringback. If you auto create groups, guess what? In Aaron Rodgers, it says if Aaron Rodgers at least use one of these players. And if you don't want to use like KJ Osborne because he's, maybe you only want to every Aaron Rodgers stack, you want a Minnesota bringback and you want it to be like one of the studs, boom, delete those two and you're done. Now watch this. If I edit my Aaron Rodgers, I'll just keep all those players for now. I've got his stack with a bringback, the single stack with a bringback. And once again, I'm going to go scroll up to the top here and sorry about that. And then the quarterbacks, what I'll do is I'll lock in Aaron Rodgers. Where did my good friend Aaron Rodgers go? I'm going to lock in Aaron Rodgers. That way I'm only creating Aaron Rodgers lineups. Let's say I only crunch 50. And what you'll see is in every Aaron Rodgers lineup, you always have one from the Packers, and you always have Thielen or Jefferson. Boom. Every lineup. That's like, from a bringback standpoint, it's literally as easy as that. Once again, you could have created the rule to do that, but I want to be very specific about which players I bring back. Like Matt Ryan against the Texans. I don't want to bring, if I'm stacking Matt Ryan, I don't want to bring back probably Philip Dorsett, Pharaoh Brown. Ugh. It might just be like these two. I don't know. I probably don't want to give me much of a choice if I'm stacking Matt Ryan. Maybe Brandon Cooks solely. I don't know. That's probably a little bit too concentrated. But you have the power with these groups to be able to do this. Now, if you don't have Fantasy Cruncher Pro, you create a folder. You can create a folder yourself. QB bring back. I'll call it bring back 2. And inside here, I can like create a new group in here, and I can create all my groups manually. I highly recommend FC Pro. When I've done this manually before they even had this feature to do it, I made so many mistakes. I'd miss a player, I'd miss a whole quarterback, and I just ruined things. I highly recommend paying the money for this. It's absolutely worth it. I don't get paid by Fantasy Cruncher to do this, by the way. I just really enjoy doing this. Okay, so let's just completely remove everything I have. I think I moved the Derek Carr group out of the folder by accident. It doesn't matter. We're going to delete everything. Boom, it's gone. So if I go back to running my crunches, I've got nothing, right? No correlation, no nothing. Oh, I locked Aaron Rodgers still. Let me unlock Aaron Rodgers, and I just create like 50 just to show we're back to, no necessary, no correlation, no stacking. This happened to be a stack, but like overall, there's like no stacking involved. So let's say I want to double stack. Good question. How do we do this? It's very simple. I went to the groups tab, and for every quarterback, we're in the same boat here. I want to go back to using the same team here. I want to include at least a wide receiver, all my wide receiver and tight ends. I want to select at least 2. Instead of 1, remember we're single stack, use 1. The double stack, I use 2. QB double stack. Name it the folder that. And guess what? I've just created double stacks. And you can make this now. It's going to now every lineup is going to have 2 of those players in it. Now, just to show you how this looks, I'm just going to run 50. You'll see every lineup has 2, even the Trubisky stack. Because I set this way, Trubisky's going to have 2 pass catchers from Pittsburgh. Joe Burrow, 2. Jalen Hurts, 2. So now I got AJ Brown. I got Quez, but I got AJ Brown too. Like this feels good because I got a low value guy. He might catch a couple of touchdowns, and AJ Brown gets, 150 yards on 10 catches. So you get there with Hurts having a good game and like that. Like that's an option. That's why you double stack, by the way. There's theory behind why you double stack. That's out of this this lesson, right? So if you want to double stack, this is how you do it. Now, there's a problem with this. And I'll use Mahomes as an example. I'll see if I can show you the problem. If I lock in Mahomes here and I do 50 lineups with Mahomes, and I start doing double stacks, right? I want to see, I'm going to try to find a lineup that has Sky Moore in it and see if I can show you what one of the problems here is. Let's see, if this doesn't work, I'm going to run more uniques just to force it. Yeah, this doesn't have the problem that I'm going to show you what. But if I'm going to change uniques just to prove a point here, which is the possibility of something happening that you may not want with double stacks. And so let me see if this works. I'm going to look at my Sky Moore lineups now. And let's see if I can get this to work here. Sometimes there's like triple stacks. Here's the one I was looking for. Both of these. So in this double stack, this is Mahomes, and he's stacked with 2 of his pass catchers, but it doesn't have maybe what maybe I would consider the stud or the best pass catchers on the team, which are Kelsey and Juju. It's okay to have Mahomes, Sky Moore, a peripheral option, and Kelsey. Like this is okay. I'm okay with this, but maybe I'm not okay with this. I want to make sure that not only do I have a double stack with Mahomes, but I need to make sure that one of those players is maybe just Juju or Kelsey. So not only is the Mahomes stack with 2, but one of the 2 has to be Juju or Kelsey. Otherwise, is it really possible? What's the likelihood that Mahomes has a really good game and Sky Moore and Valdez-Scantling caught all the passes or caught all the touchdowns, got all the yards, all that? That's highly unlikely. It's possible that Sky Moore caught, a really long catch, let's say 3 for 100 yards and a touchdown, and that gets him there for sure. And then Kelsey's got like a big game too. Like this feels good. This does not. I do not like this. I do not like Sky Moore, Mecole Hardman. I don't like that. That doesn't feel good to me. So how do I fix this? This was a mistake I made, I think, a full year of doing Fantasy Cruncher, by the way. So that's why I'm showing you this. To do this, you just create a single stack group with the studs. That's it. So I go to auto create. I go back to my auto group creator pro, and I do the same rule. It's kind of like doing a single stack, but in this case, I want I call this the stud stack, right? I call this the stud stack. I want at least one from the same team. And here what I'll do is I will go into, this is just like single stacking. So it's exactly the same, except I'm going to be very consolidated here. So I'm going to say I only want one of these 3 or these 2. So with Mahomes, think about this. I've got my double stack where I have to have at least 2. And I have forced myself to have one of Kelsey and Juju. So watch this. Now I go run that same crunch. I may run out of options because I didn't run out of options yet because I'm had like 6 uniques because I was proving a point. Long story there. But you will see every Mahomes lineup has not only 2 pass catchers, but it has to have at least one of Kelsey and Juju. Can have them both, that's fine. But every lineup has to have it. Every lineup has to have one of them. There's no exception. Now, this feels good. One way to quickly fact check yourself, this isn't a perfect fact check. I like sifting through the lineups manually to get a pulse check. But for when I click on Mahomes, I look at all my Mahomes lineups. Like I click him, obviously it's only Mahomes lineups. My Juju is 60%. Kelsey needs to be at least 40%, right? Because in 100% of lineups, I need to have Juju 60. If Juju's 60%, Kelsey needs to be at least 40%. He's 58%. So this actually tells you some stuff. First of all, it tells you the amount of lineups that have both of them, which is namely like at 18% of lineups, because you can combine the two here. And you're guaranteed, this kind of is it isn't foolproof, but it kind of shows you, okay, I definitely, this feels like of my Mahomes stacks, I've got at least one of the two, along with the fact that I've got 2 in every lineup. I think this is really, really important because I was building lineups afterwards. I was like, man, I hit the nuts on that quarterback. I got it right. And then I saw I had stacked that quarterback with 2 of his like peripheral pass catchers. And I just was like so mad at myself. And so I was like really mad at myself. So I think this is a really important point to make. And I hope that this helps you understand not only how to double stack and do the bringbacks, but to do it in a way that makes sense to you.